bloody fuck was that, eh?
That looked like a ghost, which should not be possible.
Is there anything that looks like a ghost but isn't?
I will see if I know if there's anything like that. What would that be?
That would be either a religion or an arcana check to see if you know of anything that looks like a ghost that isn't. It could have been an illusionary phantasm, but like, it scared 20 years off of Guillermo's life. If it was an illusion, it was a damn convincing one.
No illusion should be able to do what that thing did.
So I was looking at this painting over here, and this friggin' ghost came out. I'm gonna go back over to the painting and look at it from a distance. What do I see on this? Well, not distance, but at least 5 feet back. What do I see? Is there anything?
It just looks like a landscape painting. Guillermo, you recognize that Connor likes to paint in his free time. Most of what he paints is like pictures of home.
That's the Emerald Isles there.
Where is that? I've never heard of the Emerald Isles.
Don't know what the proper term would be for it. Another dimension? Another plane of existence?
Wait,
realm is usually what they say.
Are there ghosts on the Emerald Isle?
Yeah, the issue is Bastion doesn't. Can I roll to see if there's any like residual magic in the area?
Sure can.
What exactly is a ghost?
I mean, that's a question you can ask.
Okay, well.
What is a ghost?
A ghost is the spiritual essence of a sentient creature that is no longer bound to a corporeal form. It exists on the plane ethereal, but can on occasion cross over and interact somewhat with the mortal plane.
Yeah, the issue is that the ethereal plane is generally a copy of whatever plane it's mimicking, and Bastion doesn't have an ethereal plane.
Yeah, Bastion is literally a chunk of rock with a city on it floating in the astral sea.
But do things tied to Bastion maybe have a connection to ethereal planes from elsewhere? Like this painting, for example. Is it a magical painting that really reflects the Emerald Isle?
Guillermo, do you think Connor would be capable of such a thing?
No. Maybe. Probably not.
I'm going to risk it here and look at the other paintings and see if this happens again or if there's anything else that stands out.
Nope. As far as you can see, staring at the other paintings, they're just nice, simple landscapes.
I'm going to take down the painting that the ghost came out of and look behind it.
Wall.
Anything on the back of the painting?
It's just a simple canvas.
Hey, Guillermo, do you know when he finished that painting?
That's a better question for his wife.
True. Did she follow us up here, or is she still downstairs?
She's kind of at the bottom of the stairs, and she's going, "What's all that racket up there?"
Can you come up here for a minute?
I'll come up there, and she comes up the stairs, and she's like, "You folks better not be making a mess in my living room."
Hectically making sure it is okay.
You just quickly fluffing the pillows on the couch.
There's one person that he's afraid of, and it's Jezebel.
And rightly so.
This energy arrow that I shoot, does it go through the ghost and embed itself in the wall behind it, or...?
It, too, dissipated when I hit the ghost.
So yeah, I give her the rundown that I hold up this particular painting, which I'm holding, or maybe I'm propping it up. How big is this painting? Is it big enough that's not enough to set it on the floor?
It's about average painting size. So like when I imagine like a canvas, I imagine like a 20 by 16 or whatever inch canvas.
Okay, so yeah, Snarn's grasping the canvas with both hands because it's almost as large as he is, and certainly wider than he is. It's probably a stupid question, but do you recognize this painting?
She says, I recognize the painting. It's supposed to be hanging on the damn wall.
And it was until I took it down because a friggin' ghost came out of it.
What the hell are you talking about, a fucking ghost?
As in...
Do you know when he...
Take a look at your friend Guillermont.
When did your husband finish this painting?
She was, I don't know, maybe a year or two ago.
So it's not the painting. Gotcha. The painting's a dead end. Because she was telling me earlier that she had been having some weird shit happening at the start of this week.
Oh, some weird.
Are you still on about that ghost nonsense?
Because
Now-
a ghost just attacked us.
She said she had been having feelings of being watched, finding cold spots, things moving, seeing something moved at the edge of her vision, and items being leaving something like on a table and then finding it not on that table anymore.
Well, I point at the chair that is standing out from the table. I was investigating the room when that chair moved over there of its own accord, and then so I started looking at the nothing specifically wrong with the chair there. Started looking at the paintings because maybe I thought that was what was happening. Yeah, well, I'm not really sure what I thought about that, but bloody ghost came out of this painting right in my face.
The ghost didn't leave any trace, did it?
Nope,
any
it is
anywhere
gone.
in
It just evaporated.
Okay.
It looked emaciated. Like, it was spectral, but it was also, like, emaciated looking.
Maybe it's the spirit of one of the people that was trapped inside the Caro Stones?
It could be.
What the
Well, I
Caro
mean, I
Stone?
don't. Well, okay. Well, Arcus doesn't know any of this because he didn't do any of the research.
Okay, so
As far as he knows, yeah, he knows what Snarn told him, and that the Caro Stones were fucking evil and needed to be done away with.
okay, so listen up here. So a long time ago, not precisely sure how long, there was a copper, one of the Dranathi, and he had this research station that was doing something, we don't really know what, but the whole place like melted down or blew up or something. A ritual backfired. It was a powerful magical spell of some kind, and all the people that were there disappeared. And what was left instead were hundreds of these green glowing stones of unknown and perhaps unimaginable power. One of the Dranathi leaders to follow had the bright idea of locking the place up and just leaving it there until about a fella named Zinc, the current leader, 3 years old, 2-3 years old. He opened up the place. They sent in an expedition. They got we assume, most of it, or all of the carry stones out of there and started messing with things. And as far as we know, that's how the Warforged came to exist. We wished the carry stones out of existence about a week ago. That was the strange light you saw in the sky.
Snarn, I don't think we should be telling this shit to a civilian.
What the hell are you all on about? Caro Stones. Where the hell is Connor?
We should probably go find Vito and Kitty and tell them what we've learned.
I turn around surprised that Jezebel's still in the room. Oh, fuck.
So do we want to go do that? Because, I mean, there's nothing else really here. I mean, I fucked up my Arcana check, so I don't know if there's still any residual magic.
Oh, what'd you get? I
got a 1.
Oh, yeah, you have no idea.
Let's go talk to Vito and Kitty and see if they got any other information as well.
Vito and Kitty are walking into the building as you guys get to the bottom of the stairs. You guys you guys are getting back to the bar or whatever. Snarn, Guillemont, and Arcus are just coming down the stairs from behind the bar.
Alright, so talked with Jezebel. She was home the night he disappeared. The last thing he told her was he was gonna go outside and feed some of the vagrants that were living in the street. He didn't have any enemies. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary, at least around him. She did say that she'd been experiencing a bunch of weird shit since the start of the week, since the incident happened, where she kept getting feelings of being watched. She kept running into cold spots during the house, things moving, seeing shit at the edge of her vision, and things being not where they had been left. She said he went out into the street and then never came back.
Well, listen, there was a friggin' ghost in their bedroom.
That's what I'm getting at here. This has all the signs of a haunting, but that's not possible here.
Me and Kitty went out and talked to the street trash.
Wow.
We found a lead. We followed Connor O'Reilly's auto parts trail, and it led to the slum district. And we questioned the guards. and our trail ran cold. I transcribed a list of everyone that had been through that night. I questioned the guards. Nothing out of the ordinary seemed to have occurred, except for one Drenarthi shipment that was mysteriously labeled personnel. This is a regular passing by that happens 2 to 3 times a week. Other than that, nothing really seemed out of the ordinary. Yeah, trail ran cold. I found his hat, his little bald cap, covered in fucking blood.
Oh, you found Connor's hats!
I pull out my handy dandy notepad that has a lot of stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give him my transcribed list as well for him to ponder.
And I start looking over Jaxi Delmirev's disappearance.
I'm gonna walk over to Jezebel and slide her enough gold to like stay at like whatever the equivalent of a hotel would be like. I'm gonna tell her that like to keep an eye out, and if she keeps getting like those weird spots, to get the fuck out of that place and stay somewhere else.
You pull up the notes on Jaxi. What are you looking for?
I'm just looking up the information that we know about, which is strikingly similar here to a different investigation that we was in a couple of months back or so, where a young copper blue dragonborn by the name of Jaxi Delmirev went missing, and where we was able to track her down, well, at least what was left of her, alive, but yeah, in a comatose state, at the border between the Drenarthi district and the Slomat slums. She'd been assaulted and thrown out of a large vehicle, probably like a personnel
like a box carriage?
Yeah.
Oh,
and probably by the Drenarthi themselves. Furthermore, there was this strange, like, indentation in her body, in her chest. It's definitely not the sort of thing that it's not even like a regular birth defect, like a pectus excavatum, for example. Didn't have one of those things. It's like this something sunken out of the chest. Yeah.
Oh, so it wasn't like she took a hammer to the chest.
No.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a wound. It was just weird. And then, and she was comatose, and as far as we know, that she never really came out of that comatose state.
So that is a possible connection to this boxcar that we saw, but I think that one of the things that Vito and I noticed is that the guy basically got into a scuffle with a couple of sailors who were just drunk and looking to fuck some shit up, and this guy kicked their asses. They fled. He ran off after them. It doesn't look like that these guys had any kind of connection with the car, with this box car, with the personnel that was going through. It just seems, I mean, it absolutely could be the guy. It would just be, a hell of a coincidence.
Yeah, but drunken sailors get into brawls all the time.
It's not the sort of thing that they usually hold a grudge over.
Yeah.
It's like arm wrestling for polite folk.
I mean, it's possible that the guy, after chasing these sailors down, could have been randomly kidnapped by the Drenarthi who took him into the slums, but it'd be a bit of a random thing. I mean, it didn't look like there'd be any kind of immediate evidence for something like that. I mean, I don't know.
Would they take him into the slums though, or would he have been in the slums and they just pick people up from the slums because that's the right place to do it? People ask fewer questions. People are less likely to be noticed as missing if they come out of the slums, and he just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
I think he was, unless I'm mistaken, all this stuff happened in the skydocks, and this car was going from the skydocks to the slums. So, I mean, if they did take him, they would have been kidnapping him in the skydocks and then taking him into the slums, not vice versa.
Well, the slums are right next to the Drenarthi industrial park. Yeah. They could have grabbed him here and then drove into the slums to get back home.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, the fella was, according to his wife, he was trying to help out for people that are less fortunate. Go out and feed some of the vagrants.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's a lot of freaking vagrants over in the slums. It's pretty much all vagrants. So it stands to reason. I mean, Jaxie did that too. She went over there to work at a soup kitchen or something like that. So why wouldn't he go over there? I mean, at the very least, bring food supplies to the folks that run these soup kitchens, perhaps. Or maybe he went and assisted people directly. Point is,
from what his wife said, he was feeding the ones in the street, like next to the tavern.
Yeah, he kicked those sailors' asses and then chased off after them. I mean,
So
he had
it is-
no problem handling them.
It is entirely possible. So, like, hypothetically speaking, the timeline is he went out to go feed the vagrants, got into that fight with those sailors, kicked the shit out of them, chased them off, and then before he could get back, the Drenarthi rode by and went, "Oh, look, some vagrant in the street," fucking shanghaied him, and then drove off.
He definitely would have had easier pickings than this guy because, I mean, this guy was able to fight off a whole group of people. He could easily have taken care of himself.
Well, we also don't know what the Drenarthi do to, like, if they've got ways to just be like, "Hey, you're asleep now," and then they bag him.
There's some evidence of foul play, and the only weird happenstance in that time frame that passed through the gate was a box carriage that was unsearched by the guardsmen at that post. Nothing else really is out of the ordinary.
were they bribed?
The guards?
Yeah. Why didn't they search the vehicle? It's their job.
They don't search anything. They say it's the doc's job to search for contraband. And anyways, you don't trust the fuckers stand and watch in the middle of the night to actually search anything, do you? Poor Billy just wants his paycheck. He doesn't give a shit.
So listen. You said maybe we go back out to the spot where you found his hat. How do you know it's his hat anyway?
Because what else would a bald fuck wear except for one of these fucking shitty hats?
Would Jezebel be able to identify that?
She goes, "Oh, that's Connor's hat!"
You can
You
have
said
it
you-
if you want it.
She takes it, if you offer it to her. She's holding it in both hands, kind of wringing it.
So you said you investigated the scene where you found the hat, but you didn't find anything out of the ordinary there.
No, it did not. The only thing out of the ordinary was the fact that the hat was in the gutter. There's nothing wrong with it. It's in good condition. It's an unmolested flat cap. It's in good shape. So you know the area it's in has been undisturbed over the night.
Maybe we can see one of these lift jobs happen in action.
Maybe we could set one of us up as bait.
That's not a job I'm going to be volunteering for.
Volunteering for that either. Instead, if we pull them out of the van and beat the ever-loving hell out of them.
Oh, so you want us to be bait for an ambush?
If we do that, though, I mean, depending on how willing they are to talk, we still may not learn anything if we do put one of ourselves out there as bait and they do try to grab us and we jump out and ambush them. I mean, we might not be able to learn anything about where they were going or what
No, but what we can do is so we ambush the van, take it over. We get the driver in the front and just have him continue on like his normal route and have him just do what he would normally do, and then wherever we end up, we go from there.
We're going to do probably the last check for the night. Go ahead and give me intelligence checks. What are you guys going to do if the Drenarthi are using Warforged to do this?
I think that we ought to get the light involved in this so that if they're using Warforged, we can have him liberate them right then and there. And we can get the information from them that way.